I am not teaching, I am publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for the Life in UK. This is part 610 while you're doing wrist training. And if you participate in wrist training, that is at your own risk. Now, since there are around 5 parts, and also when we had it originally, we are wondering about what is written here to the House of Lords. We already had the whole book, and when we also stuck here at the House of Lords, we just kept going. But now we have the idea that we are preparing a presentation about the Houses of Parliament, and the House of Lords is one of them. And because we're not running out of ideas to interpret what is written here, maybe that's the reason why we're for over an hour or so now going on interpreting the text here and coming up with more ideas how it maybe acts out in real life. Now let's focus on something new. We haven't really focused on it. We want to know, basically now, who is proposing new laws and who has to agree to them so that we can be put into action. The House of Lords, we're probably talking of that. But that is already not completely clear. The House of Lords is normally more independent of the government than the House of Commons. It can suggest, now, yes, it is for the House of Lords, but they've spoken lastly of the House of Commons. That is not 100% sure. That's a little vague. And that is in particular important because oftentimes the sentences in this book, at least as I see it, are not really belonging to the previous one. Oftentimes they have nothing to do with the previous or the following one. Maybe because they haven't used often enough brackets. And because these texts are maybe shortened. These are my, what are we called? Not assumptions, guesses. But these are not my guesses. Possibilities. It can suggest amendments or proposes new laws. Guess has something to do with, that is my main guess, that is what I think, but it is not my main theory. The House of Lords can suggest amendments and it can propose new laws. And they have been discussed by the members of Parliament. Now that happens in the House of Commons. The House of Lords checks laws that have been passed by the House of Commons, and at that point, nothing makes sense anymore. Why does the House of Lords propose laws which have been discussed in the House of Commons, and at the same time checks laws that have been passed by the House of Commons? It does not make sense. There's one way, as I said pretty much at the beginning, the House of Lords has an idea for a law, it goes to the House of Commons, they're talking about it, changing 1 or 2 words and giving it back. And the change of just 1 or 2 words changes everything, and they're saying, no, back, we don't like it. That would make a lot of sense actually, by designing a government. When we can never say that is the law, the House of Lords, it has to be said always by the House of Commons, yes, and they can just say no. They have to pass it. The House of Lords can't do anything. It has to be passed by the House of Commons. But the House of Commons, whether they have their own completely original ideas or just sending it on, they can't pass it without being checked by the House of Lords. But the House of Commons has powers to overrule the House of Lords. In what aspects? In the aspects of making laws? Why are you explaining so many details if you were not saying in what aspects? If yes, we would be completely independent of the House of Lords. If the House of Commons can overrule the House of Lords, here's just written, but these are not used often. But we could, so technically the House of Commons could rule completely alone. Therefore, in the House of Lords. Maybe we're both of it at the same time. Why do they writing some? Maybe one reason is we're trying to find out how we should understand it. The House of Lords checks laws that have been passed by the House of Commons. First question is, what is the difference between checking and passing a law? Is there a difference, or are we just using for fun different words? checking and passing are both words which are used in context differently. But in the context of doing laws, I'm not aware of the difference. Checking a law means to check it, to look that it all makes sense. Maybe that is, they just check it if it makes sense. Because they are the ones here with having knowledge which is useful in making and checking laws. They're checking if that law is legal, like it is with the judge. That the judge is making sure that in the court all is going properly, but the verdict is spoken by the jury. This is some stuff. The jury has to listen to the evidence presented at the trial and then decide a verdict of guilty or not guilty based on what they have heard. And the jury is not the judge. In England, Wales and Northern Ireland, serious offences are tried in front of a judge and a jury, so they are not the same, judge and jury, in the Crown Court. A jury is made up of members of the public, chosen at random from the local electoral register. These are 12 people. Everyone who is summoned, okay. The jury has to listen to the evidence presented at the trial and then decide a verdict. And the jury, that is just the judiciary, they are responsible for interpreting the law and ensuring the trials are conducted fairly. The judges are not speaking the verdict. The verdict is spoken by these 12 random people. They saying guilty or not guilty, and also how high the penalty. The judge is doing nothing of that. The judge is just making sure that it all goes by the rule, what is happening in the court. But not if a person is guilty, and not how high the penalty. What if the House of Lords is just there to check that it all runs illegal? They know how to write laws that they sound legal, but it has to be done by members of the Parliament, which are technically normal people. I mean, people from the street, do I mean with it? They don't have to have a special profession. The people of the House of Lords, they are oftentimes lawyers, politics, business, and other profession. Whereas the people of members of Parliament, they don't have to have anything. They just have to have enough people voting for them. They don't need qualification. Okay. The House of Lords checks laws that have been passed by the House of Commons. Checking a law could mean to look if a law is legal with all the other laws. But the law doesn't violate another law. And the House of Lords can propose a new law. Why should they do that? If they just need to check laws. But okay, maybe we can do it. And they are then discussed by the members of Parliament. They are then discussed. Why don't they write here? They are not discussed. We also have to agree them so that they come into effect. Why are they writing in these texts so many times so broadly? Why not say they have to do that, they have to do that? Just say that or that. They have to be discussed. That means nothing. We have to already start to interpret. What does it mean to discuss something? It doesn't mean do we have to agree on it. The House of Lords checks laws that have been passed by the House of Commons to ensure they are fit for purpose. And if they are not fit for purpose, they are not coming into effect. Is that right? Do we have to interpret that? Why are we have to again think in such legal things, again to think if they think they are not fit for purpose, they're not coming into effect? It doesn't have to be. Just because a thing is not fit for purpose doesn't mean that it is prevented from being brought into effect. I thank you very much. And until the next time, if you were just here for the House of Parliament, we will do no resist training. If you participate in the resist training, but sit your own risk, we're having your arms next to us and we're doing the spotlight. We're bringing the fists up and down. Finger up and again up and down. And the last time up. And now we're doing the next one, the spotlight, the flashlight. Fists to the inside and to the outside. We're having 3 rules. 3 rules. 3 rules. The first one is that we're stopping immediately as soon as there's pain. Next exercise, the midges and flat hands and then to the inside. We're stopping immediately as soon as there's pain. The second rule is that we're going only as fast as we can go with a little bit of effort. The next exercise, the pancake flipper. Hands next to us, and we're opening them, and we're closing. And the third rule is that we're not overdoing it. So, if you feel like taking a break, do it. And also last time. And now we're doing the quadrangular castle architect. Arms out, hands hold the fists, and we bring them to the inside. And up. To the outside. And down. To the inside. Now whole thing backwards. Up. Outside. Up. And down. In. Next exercise, you can skip it if we have a lot of exercises. That's why we're hurrying also. We're making them a bit shorter because we're hurrying not on the outside, but therefore less breaks. Its ends are the same. We are training and strengthening the wrists. But always according to our 3 rules of no bottom pressing. We're stopping immediately as soon as there's pain. Aber we going only as fast as we can go with a little bit of effort. We're not forcing anything. Just pull a little bit, or press a bit further. And the third rule, we're not overdoing it. Not in the strength, not in the force we're using here, and also not in total. We're doing the TRX in the morning. Set hands up and down. If these exercises seem to be too much, then take a break. And it's all at your own risk. And that is the last time here. Now we're doing the TRX in the gym. If you don't want, can have a tennis ball, just do it without one. Do just a strong fist. And releasing it. And again, strong fist. And release. And again, a strong fist. And release. And on the other side. Strong fist. And release. And again, strong fist. Release. And last time, strong fist. And release. Now to the cautious big bang. The fingertips of one hand on top of the fingertips of the other hand. And opening slowly. Closing again slowly. We are opening again slowly. Closing slowly. We're pressing. Other side. We're pressing. And we're closing again. We're opening. And that was already the cautious big bang. Now to the field is the symphysis director. Hands here. And then open. And close. And again open. Close. Open. Close. And open. Last time. You can skip the next exercise. The frog testing the water temperature. Arms down with flat fingers. Up with strong fists. Fingers down. With flat fingers. Up with strong fists. Down. Up. Last time down. And up. To the basket bridge. Bend the hands at the knuckles. Hold it. And up again. Bend the hands at the knuckles. Hold it. And up. Next exercise. The claws. Then close. Hold it. And open. Close. Hold it. Open. Last time. The close. Hold it. Open. Next exercise. You can skip it. Arms in. Strong fists. Flexion. Long arms out. Extension of the wrist. Flat fingers. Again in. Strong fists. Flexion. Out. Long arms. Extension. Flat fingers. Last round. In. Strong fists. Out. Extension. Flat fingers. We're ending. In. Next exercise. The ice X. Bend the hands at the fingers at the knuckles. And then press on all 4. And open again. And on the other side. Bending on all 4, pressing and opening. Next exercise, the sun dial. You can use a sock, you can use a tennis ball, but if you drop a tennis ball, it will be much lower. And you let it fall down, and then you catch it again. And now on the other side. And I think we had the last exercises. Unfolding rocket boosters, long arms, strong fists to the inside. And to the outside, not strong fist, extension, flat fingers. To the inside, strong fists, flexion. Outside, extension, flat fingers. We have an idea of time left. Not plenty, but good. And to the outside, extension, flat fingers. And last round, strong fists, flexion. Outside extension, flat fingers. And we're ending again here. Flexion, strong fist. Now we're going with moderate pressure over the middle part of the lower arm. And on the other side. And as we had, I don't know, we're gonna keep on trying to detail what they meant there with the Houses of Lords. I thank you very much, and at next time.